Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer Diamond, and I live a whole food, plant-exclusive, sos-free, gluten-free lifestyle for health and well-being. And thanks to that way of living, I now have my life back. My quality of life is back, and I am so excited to share how I continue on this path with you so that you may be enlightened and find your way down your path to good health. So today I wanted to bring you along as I show you how I make onion rings. Now, if you look down at my tray, I have more than onions here. But, you know, the idea came from me wanting to have onion rings in a healthy way that doesn't have any oil, there's nothing fried, and I'm not actually using breadcrumbs. But I also have realized that I like other things that are kind of coated, and so I thought we would do a few different ones today. So we're going to do some onions. We're also going to do some cauliflower as well as some mushrooms. These are trumpet mushrooms. You could use any mushrooms, frankly, but I just happen to have a few of these, and I thought, why not, right? So the first thing that I just want to talk about is the size of the different vegetables that I have here. And I just took a regular onion, actually it was a little bit smaller than this, and just cut it sliced down. And this is a sweet onion or a brown onion. You can use any onion, purple onion, any onion. And so this is it. And I just sliced it. And here I have the rings. If you cut yours up, then you can just kind of, you know, take the rings apart, and then you'll be able to use each one of these as a dipping for the batter that we're going to create. So I just kind of wanted to show you that. So these are ready to go. And you know what? If they break or they're not perfectly round, it's fine. It's fine. But I would say that this is probably about a ½ inch thick. The thickness really doesn't matter. You know, if you want to go a little thinner, it's fine. But then you'll just have to make sure that you cook it long enough. And because I'm cooking it with other things, I kind of wanted to make sure that, you know, we don't have big chunks of one thing and then thinner chunks of something else, because then we, you know, might run the risk of burning the onion, for example. So anyways, I'm just going to take a few minutes and I'm just going to take these apart. And then I just want to talk to you about the cauliflower. Now I have a whole head of cauliflower. I didn't cut up the whole head. I just wanted to cut up some because this is kind of a sample just to kind of show you how to do this. But what I did was I cut them, you know, the big pieces off. I should probably show you. And here's the rest of that cauliflower. So I have these big chunks that you can take off, cut or whatever, and they're like this. These are the florets, but then I think that this is too big for what I'm doing today, so I went ahead and cut them to be much smaller. And in order to make sure that they still stay together, I mean, some of them are a little crummy here, I try to cut it so that the stem is still attached to most of the top, and there we go. That's why you see this pile here. And then we have, last but not least, are the trumpet mushrooms. And I went ahead and just sliced these. I only sliced one because I wanted to show you, but you literally can just cut them any way you want. We can cut them down in slices like this, or if you want, you can even do circles, which that might be fun. Let's do a few in some circles. And then it's kind of a similar thickness to the onion ring. Now the only thing that might be a little different is at the top. And the top we can slice like those other ones. So in other words, have fun with it and enjoy. So I'm going to just do this one the way we did the others, and there we go. So we've got all of our vegetables. Now, you can, okay, so now what we're going to work on is the breadcrumb. And I am not using any actual breadcrumbs, but I'll tell you what I have here. I had some almond flour. It was the end of the bag for me, and so I have that. So that's already like in a powder floury form. I got that one at Costco, and so I put that in here along with some rolled oats, which I have here. I went ahead and took some rolled oats and I put them in my dry mix container that goes with my Vitamix, and I was able to grind that up and have a flour substance right there. In addition to that, I'm also going to be adding in some quinoa flakes. Quinoa flakes are already kind of pre-flaky, but here they are. And if you've seen regular quinoa is kind of like a circle. So this is more of a flake, and I thought that the flavors together would blend nicely. So I'm just going to put those all together. And then I'm going to be adding some seasonings to this mixture right here. And what we have are some, let's see, what do we have? We are going to add some nutritional yeast. Now, if there's anything that I'm adding to this that you don't really want or you don't have, it's fine to leave it out. So if you're not into nutritional yeast, leave it out. If you can't find quinoa flakes, put in all rolled oats, or vice versa. If you don't want to use almond flour, just realize that this is something that has flexibility. And so that's another reason that I really like it. So in here, we have the nutritional yeast. I have some cumin. I have some cayenne. I have some sumac. Let's see, what else do we have here? Cumin, sumac, cayenne. And so I'm going to add all of that right in here. Plop. And then I also have in this guy some parsley, some paprika, and then we've got onion powder. Now, I normally would use garlic powder as well, but I'm almost out of garlic powder, and so I have garlic granulates. And so I felt like they were still a little bit too thick, so I started putting them in this mortar and pestle and just kind of grinding them up. And but you can also, grind it up with the flours or whatever if you want it thinner, or don't use the granulates if you have, because I'd prefer just the garlic powder. But we're going to use what we have, because that's another thing that I really enjoy doing, is being flexible. I just want to talk for a minute about the granulated onion and the smoked Spanish sweet paprika that I'm going to be using. I recently discovered a company called Savory Spice, and they are located in Santa Rosa, California, but they ship, and I really enjoy what they stand for. They have really clean, marked seasonings and spices, and if you're in the area, you should go in there. When I was there, they gave me samples to try to make sure that whatever I picked was really something that I wanted, because I never realized how many different types of paprikas there are. But anyhow, I'll link something below in case you want to go and check out what they're about. I just like to share about things that I believe in, and small companies as well. So at any rate, we're going to get back to this, and I'm just going to take a spoon and just kind of mix this up, or I'll get one of these guys, my spatula. And so you're just going to want to mix this up. And this is our bread. This is the breading. This is what we're going to dip everything in, and I can't wait to do it. So you just want to mix this up nicely, and then what I'm going to do so that it's easier is I like to take the breading or the things that we're going to dip and have it in something that is kind of flat. This is a bowl, so it's rounded, which is fine. It could work, but I think sometimes it's easier if it's spread out. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump that mixture right in here, and I see that it isn't perfectly mixed, so give it another little mixture. And see how that's like, kind of like a sandbox, but it's not. It's a food sandbox? No. So you just want to mix that up. And then what I'm going to do with this bowl is go ahead and put our onions and the rest of our ingredients in here just to get it out of the way so that it's easier now that I have it all chopped up. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then you'll be notified when I go live or post new videos. And give this a thumbs up. I would really appreciate your support. If you're already a subscriber, you've already hit the like button, thank you so much. I do appreciate your support and your help in spreading the word about good nutrition and how a whole food, plant-based lifestyle can really heal. And, you know, it helps with weight loss too. So many benefits. At any rate, I have this set aside, and now I'm going to go ahead and take one more container that I have. And this one is also kind of a square, or well, rectangular. I'm going to move some of these bowls out of the way and get us so that we have some room. And, oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to add some black pepper. Well, it's not too late, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in some black pepper as well. And there you go. Now I've got it all. So I'm going to give it another little mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix your seasonings. Mix your seasonings. Okay. And you could even maybe shake, shake, shake. Mix, mix, mix. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, enough. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. And I recently made some hummus. If you haven't seen that video on easy, quick hummus, check it out. We'll put a link above. And so whether it's store-bought hummus or homemade hummus, we're going to use hummus. And this one is perfectly ready. So I'm just going to do a little bit of hummus at a time. You know, you can always add more. And so I'm putting it in this bowl. And then what I want to do is add a little bit of liquid because I would like it to be much thinner than it is. So my choice in liquid is going to be either some more aquafaba, which is the liquid that is found after you cook or in a can of beans, the liquid in there. It's reusable. And or we can use some lemon juice. So what do I want to do? I think, knowing me, I'm going to do a little of each. I have some aquafaba right here, and so I'm just going to put a little bit in. The reason I like the idea of the lemon is because I love the flavor that it offers. And even though there is lemon in this hummus, and in most hummuses, I just still think that it's nice. But, well, let's see. Should I just go with the aquafaba? All right. Let's see. Just do that. And just kind of blend it up, mix it up, and just kind of thin it out. Because this is what we're going to coat the vegetables with. And we don't need it super, super thick, but we do want it coated so that we have something for this breaded part to adhere to. So let me just grab a little bit of lime, or lemon, I should say lemon. I've got some of this, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just a tablespoon or so at a time is plenty. You could even use water. Let's say you didn't have aquafaba and you're out of limes and lemons. Just add a little water. It's all good. Some kind of liquid to thin it out will work perfectly. And I think this is looking really good, nice and thin. As a kid growing up, I never really got into onion rings. I always liked French fries. But I find that as I became an adult, I started to try them, and I really liked them. My husband really likes onion rings, and so this was something that, I thought that he would really enjoy, and I started to like them too. But I can't eat the fried and all of that, because that doesn't help me. It only hurts me, puts weight on, inflammation, and I end up having all kinds of trouble. But doing it this way, I can still get that little bit of enjoyment, or a lot of enjoyment. I still get to have my onion rings. And in this case, some other things too. So I just added another little bit of the lemon juice. I really just kind of want to show you. Here's the thinness. See, so it's quite liquidy, almost like a pancake batter. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is start the process of dipping, coating, dipping, and that's it. So let me rinse my finger off. I'm going to go ahead and put it up. I'm going to do it two ways, actually. I'm going to put this on a Silpat and put it in the oven. I'm also interested to try some in the air fryer. Now, you might have noticed that I have this over here. This is some dill that I had dried that was given to me from my friend's garden, and I thought, well, that might be fun. So, I was thinking maybe I could add some dill, either to the dry or even to the wet. I don't know, it's kind of like, just wanted to talk to you about it and see what do you think. Looks like I'm putting it in the dry, which means I could have done it earlier on, but originally I thought maybe I would put it in the wet. Let's try a little bit of that over here. So if you want, you can add dill. I think dill is a wonderful flavor that's very different than most spices. I'm going to just, look at me, I'm just adding it in here. So anyways, okay, I've got a little bit in each, and that looks great. And so we're going to put this aside, rinse my hands again. So if you don't like to get your hands all messy, that's fine. Just go ahead and use some kind of kitchen glove, and you'll be fine. I am going to just try to use a couple of my tips of my fingers and see what we get going here. All right, so I just mixed that up a little bit more. And here we go. I'm going to start with a mushroom. And I'm just going to put that right in here. I want to coat it, but I don't want it so thick. So after I coat it, I can let it kind of shake off a little bit. And then I'm going to just do this. And you can even cover it up like that, and then you can find it and then shake it off a little, and there you go. You have a breaded mushroom. So let's do a few of those, and then we'll rotate over to the onions and the cauliflower, and there you go. Okay, let's do a couple of these cauliflowers. And you could even have your family members. I know my older grandbabies would love to do this, where everybody gets involved and somebody is, standing in front of each one of these, and you kind of pass it, and you can have music on and play and just have a good time. So I'm going to go ahead and get under here and get some of these onion rings, and I'm going to just put a few of those in here, cover them up. Just want to coat them really well. And so you don't have to do, one at a time, but if you do too many, then sometimes they get lost or they start getting sticky or the batter starts getting too wet. So keep that in mind. You can also use a spoon or a fork to find them, and all good stuff. And see, these onion rings are much thinner. So, as they're cooking, I might have wanted to have a separate dish or a pan to cook these separately. Or I can take them off earlier than, say, the mushrooms and the cauliflower, because they'll probably cook a lot faster. In fact, they will cook a lot faster. Okay, so now we're going to do a few more of these onions, and I just want to get them covered. Now, you could do a double, meaning after you take them out of this breading, you could dip it back in and then re-bread it again. And I've tried that before, but what I find out that sometimes what happens is that this first layer of breading falls into the liquidy part where the hummus is. And so I kind of stopped trying to do that. But some people might enjoy doing that. And if you're one of them, well, give it a try. Now, I'm also trying not to have them touch each other. But if a smaller piece will fit into a bigger circle, I'm okay with that. I just don't want them to touch each other because then it won't crispen up as well. Okay, so let's do some more cauliflower. Let's do some more mushrooms. And then I think this tray will be ready to be put in the oven. And then we can work on putting some in the air fryer. That'll be fun. Okay, so here's our tray. I'm going to hold it up and let you see what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the oven. I have it preheated at 350 degrees. I'm going to watch it. So I would say 15 to 20 minutes. But with these thin onions here, I might, want to check it even more often. And if I notice that these are ready and the rest are not, I'll just take them off and put the rest back in the oven. So here we go. I set it for 25 minutes. I'm not going to let it go that long, but in case you were wondering. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is a little bit more of our hummus. And I'm going to add some more liquid, the aquafaba, maybe a little bit of the lemon juice. I'm kind of going a little bit thinner than before if I can. Mix it up. I can add more dill if I want. You could probably use chive. I know I grow the garlic chive, so I could even use that if I want. You could probably even, well, parsley's already in here. You could probably add any kind of dried herb that you enjoy the flavor of. I think it would complement it very nicely. You could even probably do Italian or oregano. I mean, it's endless what you can do. So play around with some of your favorite spices, and if you don't have any favorite spices, well, then it's probably time to reach out to Savory Spice or something like that and start to learn about it, because there's a whole world of really wonderful flavors. And they're not salt. It's just really incredible. A lot of them are used as medicine, and so it's always nice to know what things taste like and how they can help us. So anyhow, I added a little bit more of that. Okay, I'm going to get the air fryer. So I like to line these with parchment paper. It just helps with cleanup, and I do reuse it if it's still in good shape. That one had some that I used, but this one it didn't. So I just set a piece in there. I'm going to go ahead and fill this tray, and here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add these into the machine over there. I'm going to put it on 390 degrees on air fry, and it's set for 20 minutes, but I'm going to check it in about increments of 5 minutes to see how the machine is doing and how the food is doing. And at some point, I'll probably flip it over as well. And then we're also going to check the oven. So I'll be back. Okay. So let's take a moment and check these out. They look like they're ready to be flipped, so I'm going to do that. Be really careful when using the air fryer. It is hot. You should probably use a tongue. These are coming along really nicely. The air fryer does do a faster job than our oven, but of course you can't fit that much in it. Let me put it back in. Okay, so let's clear some space here. We've got our second tray ready to go in. And I've got a few extra. Another good reason to have a big area. So when I got to the end, I could put these here and I'll put these in the air fryer. The air fryer ones are done. We're gonna take a look at the ones in the oven and see if they need to be flipped. And then we'll be ready to taste. Oh yeah. So look at these. They look pretty good. They're starting to crispen up. And so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over. You could let them go a little longer if you want. The thing is that with these delicate onions, they can burn quickly. So, you know, you just really, I can't stress enough that you just want to really watch them, because that's the last thing you want to have happen, is that they get burnt. And that's, you know, unless you really like overdone onion rings and mushrooms and cauliflower, that's not what you want to have happen. So just keep a close watch. Oh my gosh, I am getting excited to try these. They're coming along so great. All right, so I'm gonna put these back in just maybe for another, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and I think they're gonna be done. Meanwhile, we're gonna get the ones that are in the air fryer out, and we're gonna get tasting. Okay, so we have a platter of goodies to share and look at. And I just want to show you how it came out. It looks super good. Can you tell that this half right here was the air fryer and this half was the oven? I could have let it go a little bit longer in the oven, but I think either way they came out great. The breading stuck very well, and I just put some, some veggies with it just to show you, as well as some salad. But of course, that is not the portion I'm suggesting, but just to show you. And so I have this Date Lady barbecue sauce. I think I'm going to use this a little bit to dip it in, but personally, if I had more time, I probably would have made some kind of like a creamy dill dressing, something creamy that I could dip it in. But for now, I'm gonna do this and see how this goes. And is this a brand new one? I think it is. So I am not gonna bother with cutting the lid to let it come in, but I am gonna just try to scoop out a little bit here. There we go, just to give it a little try. All right, so that was a mushroom. It was very moist inside. That was really good. Nice texture on the outside. Let me try an onion ring. I'm just gonna try it plain. That one was a little overcooked, but I'm still eating it. Yeah, so here you go. And we'll try the cauliflower. Those were two that we tried on the air fryer. Let's try a couple on this side. How about a cauliflower? I'm gonna dip this one. Here we go. Really good. I love it. No deprivation here whatsoever. This is great. So I hope that this inspires you once again to try something new that may have been something old that you used to eat a different way, and see that you can have the same kinds of comfort foods and just, pivot a little bit in how you put them together, and it won't harm you at all. So Thank you so much, everyone. I truly appreciate your time here. Don't forget to eat your greens, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye for now. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I have to share this with Todd. I will.